Everyone, Zeddy here again with another Titans card review where all the rogue cards have now been revealed and they are very mech based. There is going to be a lot of stuff you can do with Voltron, including playing another legendary that goes very well with all the mechs. It looks pretty realistic, and in Wild, it looks like the mech rogue might be a thing for the first time ever that I'm aware of. Before we get into the cards, of course, we're giving them away as well. 2 regular pre-orders, 2 mega bundles out of my pocket. All you have to do to enter that giveaway is like and comment in the video description below. Be subscribed to the channel, and we're 400 subs away from unlocking that next mega bundle. So hit that sub button and make me go broke. So let's take a look at these rogue cards. And starting off, we have the Pit Stop, which is a 2 mana spell, no spell school. You discover a mech from your deck, give it +2/+1. So if you're only playing the Titan, you could just always tutor that out. You can always draw it out if you haven't drawn it already, and also give it a buff. So this is discovering a specific card, it's tutoring out, and also giving it +2/+1, which is pretty much worth 1 to 2 mana. Discovering is typically worth like 1 or so mana. Drawing, you know, like it's pretty well much gonna go into any mech deck. If mech rogue's going to be a thing, or there's just any mech you specifically want to tutor, this card's gonna go into the deck and you're not gonna feel too bad about it. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5 in standard, a 3 out of 5 in wild, because I feel like mech rogue might actually be a thing. People are gonna try it out for very good reasons, mainly because mech warper and galvanizer exist in the format, making your mechs cost a lot less, in a lot of cases 0, and that's gonna be pretty relevant as we go along here. And speaking of that, we have from the scrap Heap a 2 mana spell, again, no spell school, get 3 1/1 magnetic spark bots with random bonus effects. And we saw those earlier, that 1-drop, that neutral 1-drop spawns them. It's these guys that give Divine Shield, Lifesteal, Poisonous, Reborn, Rush, Stealth, Taunt, and Wind Fury. And like I said, in Wild, Mech Warper Galvanizer makes all of those 0 mana. So you get 3 of them, and you could slap them onto whatever you want. That's 2 mana, effectively gain 3. You could prep this out, of course, and play it for 0, and then just play these little guys, and that's pretty strong. Compared to, like, I know people probably, there'll be some people complaining it should be 1 mana compared to schooling and all of that. Well, Rogue can cheat this out a lot more reliably, and these seem to be very powerful. The spark bots look really strong. Again, I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5 in standard. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 in wild. This one terrifies me in wild, where you just combo this with a mech warper, with the galvanizer. They're all 0. You can play them all, and you can play them on the galvanizer, on the mech warper. Like, there's some really good stuff. And maybe Iron Sensei will finally, okay, probably not, but it could be playable in wild. That was like one of the mechs that was given to Rogue. I think in GVG, a 3 mana 2/2, give it another friendly mech +2/+2. It was like a BG's card too. Like that, I remember when I started playing the game, I thought it'd be so good. It's terrible. Anyways, maybe it'll be playable now. But yeah, in wild, I feel like this has even a better shot, just because, yeah, Mech Warper, Galvanizer are just broken cards. And thankfully, again, not in standard. Next, we have Lab Constructor. Speaking of that again, 4 mana 3/2 mech. So that's pretty bad. However, at the end of your turn, summon a copy of this. So at the very worst, it's a 4 mana 6/4, right? Like, that's just pretty good, pretty vulnerable, of course. However, you can make it even better. You forge this, gain magnetic, so you can put this on top of something, and then it should get the effect, and then you get even more of them, and that's just disgusting. And we've seen similar style of cards before. I can't remember. There was one mech where you could make a copy of it. It would summon at the end of the turn. Mech Paladin used to play it. It was pretty nasty. And this, like, you can cheat it out depending on what you're playing. You'll see in a second with the legendary getting magnetic. I feel like if you forge, you really do want to forge this and make it just gross and get a giant stat bomb. I feel like this is one of the cards that could really help, like, make this mech deck a thing. You could put it on the Titan possibly and just do gross, just illegal things, right? I'm gonna give this a 4 to 5 in standard, a 4 to 5 in wild, where you can again discount the stuff and just do gross stuff. You do need to spend 2 mana to forge it, which is going to hurt in what looks to be a very tempo-based deck, but maybe you just don't even care about, you know, doing that. Maybe you just put other magnetics on it. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities for this card, and it looks like one of the bigger payoff cards for Rogue, Mech Rogue being outside of its, you know, legendary payoffs, which it has multiple of. So yeah, a 4 to 5 in both formats. Next, we have the Coppertail Snoop, a 3 mana 4/3 mech beast. Magnetic, whenever this attacks, get a coin. So this can help you cheat out other things. You slap this onto another mech on the board. You know, magnetic is effectively charge. I've always said that. I remember they were downplayed. They want charge to be kind of, you know, they were getting rid of Leroy and doing stuff like that. And they brought magnetic in, which if any minion's on the board, it's basically a charge minion. But it can also be rush if you throw it onto a rush mech or anything like that. It is a mech beast, but unless it specifically states it can't magneticize to a beast, unlike that like Parasite card we took a look at yesterday. I think it's on the weaker side of the mechs, but still, it's premium stats, right? It's a 4/3, aggressively statted, and you slap it onto any cheap mech and it attacks, you get a coin, which can let you cheat out, let's say, the Titan, which is good. It's decent. I don't know. I feel like this is the mech that might not make the cut. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 in standard, a 3 in wild, just because the mechs scare me there. But if there's one that doesn't make the cut in that deck, it might just be Coppertail Snoop. It could be all of them. Maybe Mech Rogue will just suck, but there's a lot of support here, and some of those neutral cards are pretty good too. So this could very well see play. 2 might be underrating a little. And then lastly, we have the legendary, another pretty massive payoff card, or at least snowball card, Mimeron the Mastermind, a 3 mana 2/5 mech. After you play a mech, get a random one of Mimeron's gadgets. And I also haven't even mentioned, there is the mech in standard, the neutral one, that is a 1 mana 2/1. Your next mech costs 1 less. So like with this, it's basically like you can play things for free, get one of his gadgets. What are the gadgets? Well, they're brand new. It's a whole new pool of random cards to make me randomly go crazy. And yeah, every time you play a mech, you will get one of these. So you have Mimeron Switch, which is 1 mana. Choose 2 minions. They swap stats. So that's pretty frustrating depending on what is on the board. Maybe your opponent is a giant minion, you got a little token. You could swap it around. You could swap out your own friendly minions. And you can save this for maybe a big burst turn with like a magnetic or just a big minion. That can be pretty darn good. Mimeron's Rewinder, 1 mana, return a minion to its owner's hand. It's sap, but double-sided. You can return your own minion back to your hand. It's like Shadow Step, but a bit more balanced. So, well, I guess you could pick and sap like a, you know, a big taunt, or you can get another value card in your hand. Pretty darn good. Mimeron's Horn, give a minion taunt and divine shield. Maybe you slap that on a giant mech to keep yourself alive in a certain situation, or just give a big mech divine shield and get a really good trade. Make it hard to kill. We have Mimeron's Coolant, a 0 mana spell. The next card you play this turn costs 2 less, which is similar to the Scab's Hero Power, which was 0 mana, do literally the exact same. It's the exact same as the Scab's Hero Power that we saw from Alterac Valley, which is, again, it's just free mana. You might play, you know, you might run out of mana, get this, cheat out another mech, and then get some more of these parts or whatever they're called. I just keep wanting to call them spare parts, even though they're not spare parts. Mimeron's Cloak Field, give a friendly minion +3 attack. It gains stealth until your next turn. That's really aggressive, very powerful, and you can protect the mech that you can just slap even more stuff onto and attack even more. And then Mimeron's Blades, 1 mana, deal 3 damage, which again, that can go anywhere, can be good. course, it scales with spell damage and all that. So these are all really solid. A lot of them are very aggressive. Some are reactive. Some are values. Some are just like swap statting. Regardless, seems to be pretty damn powerful. If you're playing a mech deck, you are 100% playing this card. It just depends on how good mech rogue will be. There's a lot of tools here for it, and you can also slot in card draw, removal, concoctions, whatever. And this card has 5 health. We know that 2 5s for 3 mana are very hard to kill. This Ass Hawkstride Rancher, and it can snowball, and you can get a stealth thing and give it stealth, and you can't kill it. Very frustrating card, I can already feel, and it just has infinite value as long as you can play mechs and all that. In standard, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. In wild, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It's literally just held back by how good are the mech decks going to be. The Titans there, all these other cards are there, and it looks very aggressive. Infinite cards by the looks of it, and a lot of non-interactivity. I bet you are going to be raging pretty hard, especially considering it's rogue cards. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think about the mech rogue cards? And tomorrow we'll have even more card reviews, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.